viewers will also see and hear us. So, okay, let's start. So, okay, hello everyone and welcome to our new stream. I'm here together with Sorek, and yeah, today we will both code something or just discuss how we want to proceed with this project. So for everyone who doesn't know us, I'm Elias from Germany, doing BMW things and not having a BMW anymore. And this is Sorek, so maybe he can introduce himself.
I'm originally from Poland, but I live in UK currently, and I'm doing various stuff on BMWs. I make tools like beautiful and great logger.s, which is small, uh, uh, basically, well, let's say development device dongle with display that you can, read stuff from your car. Yeah, I'm a big, uh, yeah, BMW enthusiast, and basically BMW uh, made me into this career because I went to I went actually and started my developing career and learned about development because I wanted to do for something for my BMW. So yeah, let's say yeah, the BMW changed my life.
Okay, okay, that's cool. Sorry, we still have small technical problems, but I'm working it out. Um, Currently, the window is not being shared as I wanted to share it, but everyone still could see you, but I was not able to see me myself in this video. But I think I will figure it out through the stream. So many thanks for coming, and yeah, maybe we can focus on our today's goal is to just design some new fancy interface for the logger S or for the gauge.s. And we also want to greet everyone who is supporting us by just watching us. And yeah, if anyone has any question, just write it in the YouTube chat. And if anyone wants to join us to discuss something, they can do it via our Discord. If someone doesn't know how to come there, I think we need to post some link how to join the Discord, right? Do we have an invite link for Discord?
I think if we did it like on the channel,
Mm.
then it would be possible, but because it's like just talk between us. Then no, but I think we can move once we got someone interested in joining us. So
Yeah. Also,
yeah,
people from the Discord can just join us by just writing me or Sorek.
yeah. We'll leave the Discord link. Actually, should I paste it into the chat so people can see it, or can you edit the description so people actually knows
Yeah, yeah, sure,
the
sure.
Discord link? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Of course, I'll need to approve those people, so please shout me when you join. So
Wait a
yeah,
minute, I'm trying something out. Give me a minute. We have technical problems, but I think everyone still can hear us. Yes.
yeah. So maybe I'll just explain what's the fuss about Logres, Gauges, and why do we actually want to do it. What's the idea behind the project and what our goals are about, making it. So, I mean, you've seen the device. It's not very big. It's rather small, but it can be smaller. Actually, the smallest things that I have is just the PCB for gauge.s, which is this size, very, very small. And it actually doesn't, it has nearly all the features of the bigger one. It just doesn't have a screen attached to it straight away. But what it could do is talk to your car because that's the subject of this. Is we're using it to talk to the car and not only BMWs but any car, to be honest. Any car from even 90s era to today's modern standards is possible to talk with just a line and CAN bus, and we can connect it to any car and we want to make a platform that people will be using for their own cars and their own things, uh, whatever way they want to do it. It's similar to who's this company called? Let me just check. Um,
I'm not sure which company do you mean.
I mean the company that makes self-driving cars. I've
Tesla?
forgotten. No, the other one, the other one. They had a name, very interesting one.
If you tell me, I can Google it up.
Yeah, if I remember, then I wouldn't have to to Google it. Um, well, anyway, this company makes the devices that you plug on top of your windscreen, and basically with cameras, they can make any car, any modern car with like electronic steering column, they can self-drive it for you in
Oh yeah,
lines.
yeah, I heard about that or I seen it somewhere, but I realized that our cars are too old to do that because we don't have an electric steering column.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but the principle is with this logger.s device, you can basically or gauge.s or whatever what we come up with in the future, because we want to make a shared platform that each of those devices can, use with web browser, because nowadays we don't know what the future will bring. So, for example, like 5, 10 years, maybe Android and iOS will be obsolete and PCs will won't be so popular because the
Okay.
something broke.
Yes, Discord reconnected itself.
Okay, yeah, that's classic Discord.
Yeah, really cool. I think still no one can watch us. Wait a minute.
Uh,
I think we have still our sharing, but wait. Okay, the browser is working. The only one which is broken is Discord, but we will handle that.
I think stream is working, just no screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But
I have one comment from our viewers. He said that you should increase the volume of your microphone.
mine or yours?
Yours.
Okay,
That I'm louder than you, so
okay.
uh, that's just something. What I asked? What was I? So yeah, we are here to make a platform for everybody to use, which will be as open source as possible, without breaking too many laws, because that's also the thing when you talk to cars and you do stuff like this, you have to be wary that some some car manufacturers put protections against it into their code. So yeah, sharing those things sometimes aren't as easy as you might want it to be. But yeah, I'm all in for like right to repair and stuff, for electronics, cars, and everything. So
So yeah, I think we have a lot of things in common. However, what I was doing before, I was trying to develop my own cluster for an E36. However, it was not working as expected because yeah, a lot of hardware issues, which I was not able to tackle because I have had no idea what to do regarding hardware issues because I'm a more software guy, and I had a lot of research being done regarding that, and still it was not working out as expected. So I said, okay, leave it. I will just wait a little time until I get to know someone who can help me with that. And it turned out it was you. So you helped me out with ESP problems. So I was able to complete my project somehow. So now I can move it to the next step and yeah, complete the design because I have everything already here. The only thing which I need to do is software, and software is a thing which I can do really good usually.
Okay, that's very well. I mean, software is the hardest part too, but
No, actually, it's not. Actually, software is the easiest part. Hardware design, there are so many doubts. Should I include a one capacitor more, a one capacitor less? Should I? Which kind of resistor should I choose? Which company of a resistor should I choose? Should I choose a cheap one or an expensive one?
exactly.
A tantul capacitor or the normal one, or I don't know. There are so much things, and also how do you design the whole board is also a big topic.
Exactly. Well, in software is nice because in software you can actually, press backspace or Control Z and just, delete the code and write a new one. While here it's a little bit more, complicated. Like these revisions of the boards, I have like 10 of them.
Hmm.
So I had to spend at least like 80, £100 to actually get like 10 of them each time and just order them and try new stuff. So basically, I am a lot behind just trying to develop boards like this. Of course, I learned my lessons,
Hmm.
uh, but yeah, who could have known, right? Who could have known? So yeah, I mean, that's the hardware is the hard part, but also once you do it, then you're done. Right? You don't have to change the hardware. While software, it's always constant improvement.
Yeah, but that's a good part. I mean, if you mess up with software, you can always somehow back it up and say, okay, I will start from the zero. I will just adapt some
Yeah,
parts of it. In hardware, it's much more cost intensive, so you need to pay a lot of more money for just making a new revision. In software, you
yeah,
can say, yeah,
exactly.
okay, I don't know, I make every one revision every day. I will try something out. If it's not working, I will just go back and say, okay, I will just use the old revision. In hardware, it's usually not so much possible, and you learn by
Exactly.
mistakes, but the mistakes are much more expensive.
That's true. Well, I landed the hard way, but I hopefully the designs I do now are much more future proof. So,
Okay, just a question, very technical question, but still I wanted to ask you: have you included reverse polarity protection in your circuit board?
mm, well, I mean, no. Why?
No, okay, actually, usually, okay, I can tell you the use case of that. It usually doesn't happen, but sometimes it might happen. Basically, if your car is running, it's producing a 12 volt to the
Yeah.
rails, and you can use this 12 volt to kind of run your board. Yeah, but sometimes some really dumb people remove the battery, for example.
Yeah.
And if you remove the battery is usually buffering the current of the alternator. And if you
Yes.
do that, this alternator is it's generating not DC but AC. And it can be that you will get a 12 volt on ground and ground on 12 volt because of these AC waves.
Yeah. Well, I didn't, but I hope nothing like this would happen.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
okay.
fingers crossed. So, yeah. Well, I am thinking about including it into more and more products. There are protection diodes, fortunately, on the 12-volt lines.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully nothing bad will happen. Maybe in the worst case scenario, you'll just get, the PCB just will just be burned or something like this, and that's it. So hopefully nothing too bad will happen. But
Yeah, but this is I'm so much concerned about these things because like if a PCB starts burning, I don't know what will happen. What will happen if a PCB starts burning? Will it burn the count to the ground or will it just poof and nothing will happen?
well, from my experience, I burned quite a lot of those.
Mhm.
So they usually burn quite rapidly because the vias are very small and all the components are very small. So they just heat up and they burn and that's it. They're done. So there is not much. They act. Most of the components on it act as like fuses. So in the worst case scenario, you just have to exchange the PCB.
Okay. Yeah, okay, then it's fine. No, I seen a lot of Chinese boards and they have no protection at all. It's basically one capacitor, voltage divider or something. Yeah, you're good to go. Just do it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, maybe we return back to the topic. So today we wanna yeah, just discuss and maybe develop some features of the gauge.s. No, not gauge.s. Log.js. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
What's the product line?
it's the same. The thing is, it's quite the same, to be honest,
Okay.
because like 90% of both are the same. The features are the same. It's just different way of displaying stuff.
Ah, okay.
And and to be honest, I keep it this way. I mean, the configuration files are a little bit different, but then they are nearly exactly the same. So they serve the same purpose. But this one is more like modular. So you take it from car to car. You check each different cars, and is able to make like to store more different car definitions. When it connects to car, it's possible. Okay, that's this car, so I will talk to it and I will choose this definition and grab this data and stuff and so on and so on. While this is like more permanent solution because it's so small. It doesn't offer like USB, so because this one you can use like an IMPE cable, so basically you don't need to carry IMPE cable. There's a USB-C
Mhm.
just over there, so you plug it in and it replaces all your tools that you normally use
Mhm.
to do the car, to tune the car and check the car and stuff like this. So it's quite useful in this regard. But this is like more permanent solution. So you want to have a gauge somewhere. You want to have like a dash or whatever. You want to run in your car JB4 or race capture or some race logic, different stuff, right? This can take your calling data, transfers it to CAN. It can do, it can display stuff, it can log it, but it's like more permanent solution. I didn't plan it to be used in the case, but it could be because it's so small. You can build case around it. You can put some screens and buttons, whatever. So yeah, there are many possibilities of doing that. But that's the general idea. But the system that I use for both is nearly identical. So and I want to keep growing that because then more products will come and stuff completely screenless data log S, and I want to continue that, and I want to move so people can actually use their screens, either phones, tablets, uh, Android Autos things, and desktops, even or laptops, and just basically use web browser to control everything about the device and the car. So yeah, that's the idea at least.
Okay. Okay, got your point. Now, okay, so where should we start? Maybe you can show us your current interface.
My current interface, like you want to see it,
No, no, no. Maybe we can just discuss a new one. That's also fine.
no, but you want like current interface for Logger.s and stuff on the website
Yeah,
side
so
of things, yeah?
web-based,
Yes. Okay.
web-based
Yeah.
interface, not the hardware part.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll basically do it very simply. I'll just connect it. I'll set up the. I'll just set up the connection and I'll do some screen sharing.
Yeah,
So
sure. The screen sharing is working somehow, but not as expected. Ah, wait. No, now it's kinda, but it's kinda blurry. But I think still you should be able to see what's going on. Okay, have you shared your screen?
no, not yet. Just a second. I'm trying to because I didn't have set up to connect to my Wi-Fi, which is pretty easier. So
Okay, maybe
if you
then I
want.
will just start designing something, and we can just discuss how it's supposed to look.
Okay, wait. Yeah, I think we got it. Yeah, we got it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just sharing the screen now. Here, should be able to see it if
Ah,
you
okay.
enlarge it a little bit.
Okay.
So, more or less, this is the current, well, this is how it looks now,
Okay.
basically.
So it's basically a file system driver.
Yeah, it's like ace.js. Oh, it
Mm.
stopped working.
Typical
That's
show
too
effect.
bad.
Yeah, show effect.
Perfect. Yeah, suspension. Um,
Okay, so
yeah. So basically, yeah, that's the editor. You have your definition files here. Sometimes you have your like other files, for example, logs and stuff like this. And that's how you input, that's you program the device. So the device knows, this is the ECU I should take care of, and this is the definitions for the ECU, and as the conversion rates, what the what to get, other files, and stuff like this. So
okay, is it with open source definition format or
yes,
you
yes,
made your own?
totally. I mean, no, that's JSON. So, but I made my own way of doing because none of the blogger ever use JSON. They usually use XML, which I totally don't understand why people still do it because it's very heavyweight and stuff like this. So I just use JSON as, you know, a sanity thing, I think. And I created this own, but it's totally open source. I mean, I want the definitions to be open source,
Mm.
because then we can share them and we can do more stuff with them, and you can pass them to different products, not just, the ones that I make, but different stuff.
Yeah, but there is one project, but I don't remember the name right now. I will come to it back later, which is doing exactly that, and they have a definition of these ECU components. So they say, okay, the ECU is sending something through CAN bus. It will be on byte 1, bit 7 will be this and that, and
Okay.
we're using some open source format, and I think it was JSON. It was definitely not XML, which I would remember.
Okay. I only know about two loggers. I only know about ROM Rider, and I only know about Tuner Pro, which use ADX files, which are in a sense XML files in a way.
No, no,
So
no, no.
but it's different that you're talking about. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I will send you if I find it. I've found it somewhere, and was really curious about it because they had so much definitions of so many
Mhm.
different cars. They have like Golf and all the BMW format, and the cool part is that you can reuse it because it's so easy to read and understand even as a human.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I will send it to you. But okay. So basically, you have a file browser where you can set up some definition files, right?
Yes, and upload files and do stuff like this. So you go there, choose files, and you upload like firmware update and stuff like this. It can be automated, of course, but I thought this is like simple way of doing it, without, spending too much time on and stressing about, finding the right way in JSON to do it. I mean, in JavaScript to do it.
Mm.
So that's what I chose.
Okay, cool. So what is so should we keep that or redesign it completely?
I mean, I so far with the JSON, I am quite happy, but I am open to, ideas if you think that there are better ideas about,
No, no, it's not
inputting
about
this
the
stuff.
JSON. The JSON we keep for sure. I'm talking about the
Oh,
main entry
the
point.
whole UI.
Yeah.
Uh, Redesign completely. Like this should be one of the, let's say I had an idea. Like, when you go into this,
Mhm.
when you type in the IP address or you type in something like logger.local, which you can do. I mean, I didn't set it up, but you can do this.
Mhm.
So once it's connected, it should show like basic gauges and live data. That's what I think it should show. And then you should have tabs on the top. And this, like SD card and Explorer, should be the last tab. So people wouldn't use it too much because they wouldn't need to.
Mm-hmm.
But I still want to leave the option to actually, include that.
Okay, so basically you mean vertical tabs or horizontal tabs?
Mm, Depending whether you're using it in horizontal on
No, I'm asking
or
you. You need to tell me. It's not depending on. It's just
no. I know.
we can change it later. Okay, but
Depending on orientation, yes. So but I would say the tabs that are on top and you select one of each is actually like I don't know. For me, it's like user friendly, so I know what is happening.
mm, okay. Yeah. Okay. No, maybe we can start with that. So designing some tabs. Let's have a look what we can
Yeah,
do.
just change the screen share to yours.
Yeah, but actually I can wait a minute. I can make it even better because
Uh,
unfortunately with screen sharing of
Yeah,
Discord
it's
is
not
not.
very good.
No, it's not good at all. But I can share my whole screen. Wait. I can just make this tab a little bit smaller. So okay, now we are in the corner, and we have this one a little bit bigger. So I can start coding in the background, and yeah, we will talk about designing it somehow. So does it work? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So
Should
basically, I need first of all, I need to set up some basic React project, like Hello World project. But fortunately, this is very easy in React. Um, Hello World React, and maybe we can also have a look. Oh, maybe we first have a look at this library which we saw somewhere. Library dashboard, lib from React, right? Something like that, for example. You see my screen?
yes.
Yeah, something
Now I
like
see.
that might be not free download. I just want to see here preview. So maybe we can start with that and just redesign it using some native tools.
Okay. It does look, yeah, it does look nice, well as most demo files.
Wait a minute, why
Uh,
why it's broken?
why is broken? That's a good question.
Okay, I think it doesn't like to wait. It doesn't like to if I create a new tab or add up a new tab when the window is changing, and it doesn't like that.
You, are you using a Mac?
No, it's a Linux
No.
machine,
Oh,
and
that's Linux. Okay. Yeah, okay.
no, but usually it's
Maybe
working
I'll try.
working fine. But okay, so basically we have a live preview.
Now the tabs are working, so
Yeah, perfect. So basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to wait a minute. I wanted to right undock and separate window. I think do we still see the window? Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So basically I wanted to do some really bad coding, but I will just redo this site live by just changing some parameters, and we can decide what should we call the first point here, this dashboard point. Should it stay dashboard or should it be something else?
Uh, Dashboard seems alright. Yeah, dashboard actually seems like a good.
Okay.
You can check basic stuff from like on a quick glance, so that makes sense.
Okay. So the second tab would be, what do you think?
After dashboard,
It's
I would
obviously
say
not user profile because we don't care about users in.
no. Well, not yet for now,
Yeah,
but
no, not yet.
not yet because I was thinking about actually making it like a cloud base. So you connect to it and then it goes to your user profile. All your logs are your definition files and stuff like this, so you can edit it. But
Mm.
no, just keep it simple for now.
Okay.
The second tab would be definitely gauges. So the stuff that we choose to display and they will go like on full screen,
Okay.
and then they will fill the full screen of the like a phone or whatever what you plan to use. You can use like Raspberry Pi for it,
Mhm.
which would make sense, of course, if you have it in your car, and and this will be just user configurable gauges that you can pick, choose from different styles, with different data to display, and things like this. Yeah, so that's the second part.
Okay. And the third part?
And the third part, I was thinking, yeah, that's the easiest way to log the files. So some kind of, well, you can say it logs or data logs, something like this, where you can actually go and choose the log, and then it will show up on the like a screen, and then you can scroll through the log or change the view mode to like histogram when you have a table or scatter plot, stuff like this. Have you ever used a Megalog viewer?
No, never. What
No.
is this?
Okay.
What is this? I have never heard
Megalog
about this.
viewer is like the best. I'll screen share it so people can actually see if they never seen it. This is one of the best things for a tuner to use. Let me just
Yeah, wait.
increase the size a little bit. So let me just find some log files. Let's say I'll take it from my car, so it's nice and easy. Um,
Mega Log Viewer
yeah,
HD.
yeah. So in this, you can go and select the parameters you want to display. So let's say like mass airflow and yeah, load, engine load, APM, things like this, coolant temperature, uh, whatever, fuel injector, whatever you want, right? And then you have easy tools to like jump uh, to the maximum values, the minimum values. You can search for specific value and things like this. So yeah, it's pretty great for actually, looking at the logs and analyzing them. So we can go to like maximum mass airflow is 741, and we can see it's at 6,800 RPMs. And we know it straight away. So yeah, that's great. We can analyze it. But the best part at histogram table generator, when you can just set up whatever you want on X, Y, and the Z axis is actually the values over there. So I have set like engine load, APM, and knock current. So we have like when we analyze uh, our maps, and we say, okay, we have some knocking in this area, so around 5,800 RPMs at this load. So there is a knock, so we either need to increase the fuel or decrease the ignition on things like this. And that's to be honest, that's it. I think that's one of the greatest tools that was invented. So yeah, I want that at some point, either copied or simplified, so users are able to log the view the logs straight away from on the website.
Ah, okay. So basically, what it does, it just compares three parameters together, and you will see what's going on where, right?
Yeah, exactly, more or less.
Yeah. Okay. So in a more advanced fashion, so you can select a lot of things, and you need, as far as I see, you need to completely understand what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you are lost here, right?
More or less, yes. Well, you can still view logs and see like, oh, my coolant temperature, my highest coolant temperature was this. But if you compare coolant temperature, like engine load, IPM, and coolant temperature, so yeah, you see that it makes no much sense. But if you have a hotspot like on here, you see up there in the down part, it's not shared right on the screen, I think, but yeah, more or less it worked like this. So you can see like, oh, in a high low, high RPM, I have some coolant going up. So you just use it. That's a tool to analyze logs, basically.
Okay. Wait, I'm still fighting with OBS. Um, but I got your point. So basically, such tool would be appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. So you choose your log file and you can view it straight away from the web browser site. Yeah,
Okay.
but this is the harder part. So using something different like just simple log viewer with those lines without the histogram would be fine too.
Okay. So first one is called gauges. The second one is data logs, and the third one would be data analyzer, right?
I would say data logs are within the data analyzer because that's how you because it's just different view. Well, let's say we can separate like histogram table from this, but yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, I think. Yeah.
Histogram tables. Okay. This looks good. Okay. And fourth tab.
We need a fourth tab now.
No, I'm just
Um,
just asking. If you don't have any more,
no,
just
to
it's
be
also
honest,
fine.
let's focus on those first because
Okay.
those are the most important ones. The last tab I would leave the SD card Explorer.
Ah, okay.
That's it.
The
And
Explorer,
yeah,
yeah.
just make it simple so we don't spend like 2 weeks on doing project that we'll never finish. I would rather have simple project that is finished.
Yeah, I understand you. I've been there
There are
so
many
many times.
ideas. I mean, I want to include, I told it to everybody that is concerned. I want to include a proper binary flasher and ECUE editor. So people can actually use this as to edit their log files, sorry, to edit their binary files after they analyze the logs, and they can flash the files directly, excuse me, to the car. So yeah, that's big idea because nobody done it before, at least not on open source scale, and that would be great tool for remote tuning, right? Because you go out and you give the device to your customer. The customer uh, has the device. He can analyze the log. He can see the logs. But then you can just TeamViewer or connect directly into the device and do everything from the browser and just tune the car. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think including a flasher would be a great idea. However, I'm not sure how you wanna do a flasher is usually really car dependent. There's no general flasher which will work on any car.
Yes. Yes.
And this makes a
So
lot of trouble because most of these have some special functionality like special keys or special encryption or special
that's
something.
true. Yes, so well, there are several ways to go around it, like making a script or either using like Lua scripts or things like this, so people can actually write their own script code. Then we'll pass it and run it on the device side, for example, or run it on the web browser side, and then just send like we send the binary file to the to the device, and then we just ask the front end what type of messages should we send to the car, and then we get just get the list of what we should do on each step with the data, with the keys and everything, and then just flash it this way. So it would require something really open. So we don't just do it for one car, but for different cars, different protocols and stuff like this. So people could actually write something on their own and use it there. if they want to, because that's the hard part, right? No, not a lot of people know how to do it. But I think if we provide the platform at some point, people just switch to it because it's so much more useful, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure. It really depends on the usage. So I think the most important part is to find a lot of users for this tool, because not everyone is so much familiar with that. Especially from, I can tell you from the BMW community, a lot of people know use somehow, or at least they know they can Google it up. But if you Google, I don't know, Toyota CAN bus integration, you won't find you anywhere, I would say. Whereas
Yeah.
nobody will know about you, or nobody will know about Logger S.
Yeah, of course. It's all about, marketing at some point. So, but I deal with BMWs, so I can do BMWs, and BMWs have different engines and different ECUs. So once if we can make, for example, to some basics that are more available. So let's say MS41, MS42, MS43, and then like ME 7.2 for V8s, which are very popular currently, and things like this, or even open it up a little for like Speeduino and do live tuning possible, then yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's possible totally. So yeah, that's the goal, right? I'm not saying it will happen now, but I want it to be the goal, because at some point the guys who make flashes won't be, well, they won't be around to do it because they would just have different stuff going on. And I know the worst part could be that the engines and the ECUs will be forgotten. And it's not only for those 90s car, but then if the newer cars like E90s, E60s, and stuff like this. So yeah, it's just like trying to future-proof it for future generations and of cars and things like this. Because there are solutions like CAS, and you can flash it from CAS, but then you have to pay a lot of money to actually, buy CAS and things like this. So
I had a clone. It costed me over $100 or something. But
does
I
it
heard
work though?
what?
Does it work though, the clone?
Yeah, it worked, but I heard that it is not correcting automatically some checksums, so you can badly flash something and destroy your ECU. Or
Okay,
not destroy, but you need to open it up and hope for the best that you can repair it.
okay.
So something like that might happen. But okay.
Yeah, let's do some coding, actual coding.
Yeah, so I created a React Hello World application. It's working right now. Right now, my how's it called? My PHP storm, which is I'm using for developing it, is somehow indexing something, and it takes time. But it's working. If I change something, if I write here gauge gauge.s and save it, it will yoo-hoo, it will automatically change.
Okay.
So now comes the fun part. Basically, what we need to do is we need to install some libraries which will do almost everything for us.
Yeah, I know. That's how JavaScript programming works.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
you just install lots of frameworks, and yeah, they do job for you.
yeah. But this is how it usually works. And funny part is, usually it turns out really good, really great. I was not expecting it. When I first I was like, oh, JavaScript, I hate it. I don't want to do it. It's a mess. It will be a mess, like my former jQuery scripts, which were like thousands of lines long and were doing so much stuff. But when I realized that React is completely different. You can do really cool stuff with it, and it's the biggest concerns were basically that you will unstructure your code badly, but you can avoid it if you're using some high tech programming no problem at all of sorting everything out, so everything will be working fine and everything is readable.
Yes, just remember one thing, which for me it's important that it has to be very lightweight. So uh, those libraries, those frameworks take too much space, and because we sometimes won't be having the internet connection, so it has to pull all the data from the device. The ESP isn't the fastest server on earth,
Mm.
and sending multiple files, multiple requests can actually choke it very easily. So that's something to consider. So it doesn't send too much of the framework files from the SD card if it's not necessary. Of course, first thing would be to actually check, are we connected to internet? If so, then download the frameworks from the web instead from the SD cards and ask the device for that. So that's one of the first things to actually consider. And the second thing to consider is, remember, most of the tuners and people use their cars with the laptops, for example, or phones. So while designing the UI, I would say make it as phone friendly as possible. But then remember that those laptops that people use are usually like Windows XP and very old, sometimes even Windows 98, stuff like this. So they work on compods and all the type flashers and fortunately it's changing a little, but some tools you cannot get for anything newer than Windows XP, unfortunately.
I heard really I never seen anyone in since like 3 years who is using Windows 98 XP. Yes, a lot of people using still XP and say XP is so cool because it is so easy to use and you don't need this driver licensing and stuff, and you can use like
Mhm.
really old depreciated drivers which will still run somehow and everyone will be happy. But I never seen anyone using Windows 98. It's so old.
Yeah, but that's something to consider. I don't think, supporting Linux XP is like the first thing we need to think about, but definitely like phone friendly and and the lightweight is something
Yeah, don't worry.
important.
Don't worry. The cool part about React is you are developing it, and there's like I don't know dozens of files. But then if you go to production, it will combine everything into one big JS file, and this is basically it.
Yeah. Zabos is here, so yeah, we're saying hello, Zabos. That's great because Zabos is the one who actually came up with idea for gauge.s, because he thought, well, let's do something. Then we found the screens, and we ordered the screens. We ordered the first batches of PCB, and we were really strong at development. But then he found Valheim, and he started doing lots of, mods for Valheim community. So I think we lost the guy in the process, but he's still in spirit there. When you log, when you start logrs, the Zabos name is always there. So yeah, thank you, Zabos, for help.
Okay, that's cool. So maybe we need also Rob. If Rob will come, will be great. But
Yeah,
I'm not
sure.
sure.
I
I'm not
mean,
sure if he is busy with his compressor build right
I
now.
I mean, he's always busy. I usually wait like two weeks for response from him when I send him a message. So
Yeah,
it's like, oh, sorry, I was busy.
yeah. First time I was really pissed because he was not answering. But when I realized he's so busy that he basically have no time for me and my
Yeah,
concerns. But this is completely normal. Okay, so basically, uh, my React is still installing some modules to use this dashboard.
no, that's normal. That's just let him do his stuff. We
Yeah,
can't.
and when my PHP storm will start indexing all the new files, which is recognized when
Mm.
I mean refresh package JSON whatever it's doing. Oh. I like React. It's so much fun every time. You install one simple package, one simple comment. It will take like for 10 minutes to install. But when as soon as everything is built, everything is also really fast. So there's no slowiness.
Yeah, I saw that too. So yeah, that's a nice part about JavaScript. It's really made, you know, for very by and for lazy developers.
Yeah,
Which, well, all developers, because all developers are lazy. We are developers because we are lazy, because we want to simplify and automate stuff, because we don't want to do the stuff. It has to do itself. So, if you have any questions, I see some comments that people are really excited about Flash and lock in one interface, and yes, that's why I want this, because I am constant. I hate it when I have to use 3 or 4 different things to actually, get one job done. So log analyzing, log viewing, and log flashing and log edit and binary editing and binary flashing should be in one simple way to do it. So yeah, but you still, in the end, you can do it on PC, but you still need a hardware. So we want to combine all of that. You just get one logrs or something similar, and you just use it as one tool to rule them all. So you just use one tool to use for whatever you want on your car, and you can do anything. That's the idea. And in worst case scenario, you can plug it with USB Type C, and you use your old stuff like IMPA and other things, uh, DISA, whatever, to actually talk to your car with different programs if you need to. But if you don't need to, then you know you have everything. That's the idea, at least. Is it still installing?
yes, it's still installing.
Okay. Should just wait a little. Mm,
Yeah, wait. Now it should reload because now has it reloaded? No. Ah, okay. Okay, now. So let's have a look. What it has installed. It's now saying starting development server. Ah yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, we are back online. So next
it's
thing
still
is
loading though.
just to develop a thing. So let's have a look at the documentation. I will have a look at the documentation and just install. Getting started. Um, so what does it say? Ah, come on, no. Material dashboard, right? Okay. So basically, what we need first is with tabs. So we need to check how to install them into this React. But I think it's pretty easy. You just need to write some markdown and when they will appear. So routing system tabs. Okay. Ah, here I have a demo tabs. Cool.
I don't see anything.
Yeah,
Should I?
wait. It will automatically update as soon as I do it. Let's have a look. And now here I will write. No, demo tabs is not defined. Why not defined? It is defined. Okay, now it should. Can't. Okay, what does it say? Can't resolve component, whatever. Components, custom tabs. Ah, okay. It needs some additional components. Wait, but we will do it.
Meanwhile, maybe people will see. I'm not sure. They will, but it's worth checking. Oh, yeah, my camera just broke.
No, why?
Because I have it on like magnetic USB type connector, and it sometimes doesn't like that. Yeah, it dies. Oh, it's working now. Okay, so I'm gonna just. Yeah, so I think that's the. Is it? Oh, yeah, that's the closest I can get. Yeah, so that's how the PCB looks like. Is there ESP32? That's the key slot. A few connectors, which, well, that's the like I2C interface that you can, put whatever you want to it. As the analog for analog sensors. The power, the power one. So there's the power ground and CAN and car line. So like you connect this to your car mostly, and the rest you connect to different things. And that's the like encoder bit. So you can actually put encoder in there. That's what I'll use this as GPIOs, those two. And one of them, EC, called EC, is actually the 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 button that we use to change the screens and stuff like this. The boot button, which lets you boot the device to flash it. This is like FTDI type header thingy. It's just you just plug it in. Do you have it somewhere? Maybe I have it somewhere. Oh, I lost it. I think I lost it. Yeah, I completely lost it. Somewhere around. But yeah, that's it. What else do you have here? CAN transceiver. Oh my, it just broke again. Oh, it's going. I still see some errors, Elias.
Yeah, I know. I'm fixing. I know, I know. It's giving, but the documentation is pretty bad. So I'm fixing the documentation, not the documentation, but I'm fixing the things which are written in this documentation.
Raleigh asked a question. Does the device support outputs? Yes, it does actually. It has few GPIOs that can be repurposed because I haven't thought of the idea of using them. Yeah, shift lights are very nice idea. You can use like this I2C port to actually get to some and talk with some LED controller. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that's thank you for idea. If you have some plans, I can get it implemented for you if you have some hardware done. And yeah, we can crack on with it. Just basically, I think for LED addressable stuff, you just need one or or maybe two of them, like one, just one pin. I think it's just one pin. No, I'm not 100% sure. You would need to run it from like 12 volts from the car or something like this, but other than that, it should be quite straightforward. All right, so yeah, we are back up again. So that's the next thing is just, um yeah, so you can get the antenna extension because well, cluster is quite populated, so without the antenna, it's actually not working very well the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. There's a CAN transceiver, and that's a place for the K-line transceiver, which are impossible to buy currently because there is I don't know if you heard, but there is like big automotive components crisis, and some companies like Skoda, I think they have like 8 weeks standby because there are no components to make cars from. So yeah, it's pretty hard to get them. But I managed to get some few, but I don't know how it's gonna be in future because they are like back orders for 2022. So once we run out of them, there won't be more bots. So uh, yeah, buy them while they are here. So the rest of the component is pretty standard, and yeah, this is like flat. You just need to cut those, and this is pretty much flat. So we stick it on surface, um, like 3D printed bits like this. And you just stick it there. You just slice in, and that's it. But I will need to cut it so it doesn't stick. So, and I think I have one assembled over there. Yeah, it's the one that is assembled. It's just missing the controller. You can see the SD card here, and this K-line transceiver with FPC connector for screen. I broke many of those screens. Like they are like this. I have like 10 of them that are like this. They are very fragile, so just beware with them. I spend a lot of implementing, so it goes like this. You just glue it on. So it's quite small. It can be made into different cases and done like completely standalone device that you put somewhere. As I say, the we are unlimited. We are limited only by our own imagination, let's say so.
Okay, cool. We have the tabs running somehow.
We have. Okay, great.
Okay, so we just need to fill on
Yay.
with tabs. So how did we call them? I had to
Oh
install
my.
a different library. So the first one will
Okay.
be
The first one is dashboard. The second one will be like gauges.
okay.
And yeah, well, then we'll think if we really need the dashboard, but let's put it on first. Then we have like log viewer, and the log viewer we have like options to have like log analyzer, and the last tab will be SD card. Uh, yeah, so the last one will be actually SD card stuff. Explorer. Again, I
Histogram.
broke it. This camera is playing tricks on me. Right.
Okay, let's have a look. Um, okay, okay.
That's
So
right.
that looks good. So let's remove this logo because we don't need it. And okay, now maybe we need to adjust some CSS a little bit so it is not in the middle.
Yeah,
Uh,
just
but
stick to top.
I think for first it's fine like this. Everyone is seeing it.
Yeah.
That's the important part. So okay, what should we include in the dashboard?
What should we include in the dashboard? Maybe let's start from gauges first because like
Okay.
that dashboard will be the like summary of other tabs. That's usually what dashboard is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh, So once we have like other stuff, we can have like small things. To be honest, I'm wondering what could be put into dashboard, but
Yeah,
dashboard
we,
could
we
be
can
like
also remove it if we don't need it.
we can. I mean, it could be customizable, right? Like in gauges, you got few things, but in dashboard, maybe users will have like their favorite things that they have on their hand. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I would leave it for later. So that let's do dashboard at last. So
Okay.
yeah. So gauges. Yeah.
Okay, let's add some gauges, right?
Yeah.
Good
So
idea.
nice gauges. Modern
Okay.
ones, old
No
ones.
problem.
The first thing is they need to be, let's say, how do you say it? They need to be smooth. So when the values changes, they need to, like smooth the movement. Usually we can, it's implemented already in the code. Sometimes it isn't. So
Are you still here?
yes, all the
Uh,
time. Why?
okay. No, because you were.
Because the camera is broken. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course it is.
yeah. The camera is broken, and I'm not sure what's going on here.
It's just camera is broken.
Ah, stupid camera. Wait,
Oh,
it's an
yeah,
insta.
I think it's working now. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Let me check, but we will include some gauges right now. Okay. Camera is still broken, I think. No, camera is working.
Yeah, it's working. Sure.
Okay. Give me a minute. I'm installing gauges.
You
It's
found
not.
some nice ones.
Yeah, I found nice ones where I just need to include them. They're pretty easy to include, I think. But I need to do it. So doing it, it's not like in Matrix where you say, okay, I want to have gauges and they will appear magically. You still need to do something about them to make them
Yeah.
appear. But usually it's not that much of a deal to make it work.
Yeah, thanks to all the people who made those libraries and frameworks because without that we would be just having to write it from the scratch, and I know it's just terrible.
Yeah, usually it's not that much bad, but you want to develop an application which shows some gauges, or you want to develop the gauges itself. This is always the question.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
let's.
it's a quite science behind each of those things.
Okay, it's saying compiling. It's compiling something. Yeah,
Yeah, we got something,
we
and
got a
it's nice and
gauge.
spongy, I think. It looks at least like spongy goat.
Okay, we need some code which will do it kind of make it work somehow. But at least it's working. So we have 40% of something.
Yeah, 40%.
40% of something is better than nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Okay. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Got your point. More libraries to install. Now we need to install Bootstrap for making these libraries somehow a little bit different. Wait a minute. Where's this demo page? But we are getting there. It's just taking some little bit time, but at least we have the
Uh,
gauges. So we need to discuss which kind of gauges do you want and how much of them.
oh, I would say user selectable. So if user wants one gauge, he will get one gauge. If he wants 10 gauges, he can have 10. I think anything above that is just no point. But
Okay, but how do you configure a gauge?
to be honest, huh, that's a good question too.
Yeah, because
There
like
should be.
making it user configurable is always like leaving the configuration to the user, so it needs to be somehow.
Well, first of all, it should be few styles, and the second of all, the gauge should take JSON configurable file. So let's say they're preset. So they have like minimum, maximum values, and they
Mhm.
have like a medium yellow zone, medium, different colors and stuff. Um, and they have and they are the parameters for that are pre-calculated.
What do you mean
Uh,
pre-calculated?
I mean not pre-calculated, pre-done. So let's say we make gauges for X, Y, and Z. So let's say for RPM, and it will be made for users like default settings will be used. But the user can click somewhere and it will show him like little editor for just this gauge, and he can edit like maximum value and stuff like this. It's hard because then you have different parameters. You don't know which parameters will be taken from the car straight away. So yeah, that's one big issue, I would say. Uh, so yeah, to consider that, it's quite hard to write. So I would say the basic stuff will be like minimum, maximum value, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other will be just different style of gauges. So if we can let the user change just the style, that would be great. But then we have to come up with the styles itself and just number of the gauges and their positions should be also configurable, or at least if they are in a grid, then user should be able to just like drag and drop them into the positions. That's how I think it should be. And then on the right hand side, or there should be a menu where user can actually choose which parameters to display on the gauges. Yeah. So basically we can take it like this. So there will be a small menu with all the parameters that currently are like sent from ECU. And then you can choose which parameters you want to display, and then you can move those gauges and save this as like template for the display. So you have this template, okay, I want to load this template each time I start this, and this will be displayed.
What's the problem here? Okay, looking better.
Looking better, definitely.
Yeah, now we have
Yeah,
two
that's one
gauges.
thing. The second one,
Yeah, we still need a container above it. This is the thing which I haven't done, but I will do now.
right?
A container.
Okay, I see.
Okay, now looking better. Okay, so and now we need to remove the here all this bullshit. Okay, this is good enough. So what's the background of all this project? What do you think?
Sorry? The
Which kind of
background.
background color you want?
The one that I use on my thingy. Let me
And
just.
I think your camera is still broken. Or
Yes, it is.
broken again.
Yeah, broken again. I'm sorting it out. I will tell you in a second.
Yeah, the color will be great.
Yeah, the color. Actually, I have great tool to check the color, which is called Windows Shift C, and it will be the hex for it is 282A36.
Uh, 282A 46.
36.
Okay.
36. 36.
36. Okay. This one?
Uh, Wait.
282 A36.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, should be fine.
No flex display, please. No, wait. This is header. Header could be. Header is fine. Logo spin we don't need. Link color we can keep. Logo we don't have. And this text align center we can also remove. No. This was good. Okay. So now we have it. So now we have two gauges, but they are too big, and we need to make them a little bit smaller.
You should make them that all of the gauges, like, I don't know how to do it. You probably know,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen it sometimes. So, like, when you open the gauges,
Mm-hmm.
and there should be like fixed area of the size of the screen, and it should snap. So each time you roll like from it, it should automatically snap on this area, and all the gauges should fit inside this area, either in a grid or something like this. So the idea is, if you use it for a phone, on the phone, on PC or whatever, you start your browser, it goes into like full screen mode automatically as you set it up, and then it automatically centers on this, so it displays those gauges. You follow what I had in mind.
Yes, but I'm still trying to find out how we. Okay. Oh, this is looking better a little bit. So at least we have.
They are much bigger.
Yeah. No, this is bigger, but basically this is gauge.s. Now we have a header. What's the header tone? What do you think? Background color for header. With a header, I mean this area where gauge.s is.
We can use the same, although at some point though we'll have something like what they call. We'll have something like logos and stuff. Let's say it should be 1:1, 4:1 hex.
Wait. Doing it. Okay. Now we have this in a different color. So one thing which I'm wondering is why everything else is not in the right color. It should be, but it is not.
I think there may be some big, or the background just ends. Because before, if you like scroll down, it ended too, so maybe there is something like you're scrolling out of the background color. I don't know. I mean, that's why I don't do the front end, because I'm just terrible at it, and when I see stuff like this, I just give up. I just go, no, not for me.
Okay. Yeah, I got your point. Wait, but it's actually it's not that much of a deal. I think it doesn't load the React library. That's why it's not doing what it is expected to do. Yeah, it does not load it. So wait, I need to check why it's not loading. Bootstrap, React. Let's have a look. Get started. The problem is some libraries are depending on other libraries, and you need to include something so it will start working. Okay, Bootstrap we have. Okay. So basically we need some styling. And why we don't have it. But maybe you can tell in the meantime, whenever I'm developing, you can check our viewers and maybe ask them what they wanna hear or what they wanna do,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
and
want
answer
to
any
hear
question.
from. I haven't seen anything on the chat, unfortunately, yet, uh, which I expected to be more questions. But I think I think I talked too much and people are just overwhelmed by I already said. So I think that might be the issue here. But yeah, so going forward, I yeah I really want to like put my time, money, and everything into this project. I really believe it. I'm not afraid to spend more, even though people are thinking, yeah, I'm making money on it. But if I have counted how many stuff I broke, how many stuff I bought for and didn't do anything for me, and I had to, either scrap it or just sell it for like pennies. And the time it took me to actually do it, then it's not really that. I am not really making it for money because it's a lot of responsibilities. Like I just sent one unit of gauge.s to client, and he broke it. And of course, it was his fault. But then uh, you see that the screen just basically snapped off. This should be here. So yeah, the screen just snapped off, and what can you do about it? I mean, the
Oh,
client is.
actually I saw I resolved such situations. I usually solder this cable, and then it will work again. I know it's a ribbon cable, but you can solder it.
um,
You need to use a Dremel to cut it open, then put some solder paste in it, and then it is kind
I
of.
mean, I mean, on this side, I would say maybe it's possible on this side.
Mm-hmm.
But on this side, with bare eye, I cannot.
I
Do
also
something
have a
like
lens.
this.
I mean, I also have. Unfortunately, I cannot share.
Uh, let's do it properly. I don't know it's gonna be visible or not. So yeah. Um, so on this side, I will be able to solder it. It's still visible. Is it? It's too bright, but so let's dim it up a little. So yeah, on this side, I may be still able to solder it, but on this side, I cannot even, with bare eye, I cannot even look at the pins. They're just too small. They're really, really small. And this is like, I don't know if you could see it, but maybe this way. They are so minuscule, those pins. You cannot even see them properly.
Yeah, I understand you. It is
I, I, I,
sometimes
I,
it's just not worth it to do it.
no, I mean, those are expensive because each single one of those is like 15 pounds because they are proper OLEDs. But what can you do? What can you do? As I said, I broke like 10 of them already, so it's not it's not novelty for me. So actually, break them. But I don't like when customers break them. Even though they say, yeah, okay, well, it was my fault, but they still seems upset. But and upsetting clients is never a good way of doing things. So, but because there is no other way, because there's so little space in those clusters that you basically the only thing we could do is like have like a, just a little bit smaller screen, but then you wouldn't have so many things on it. It wouldn't look so nice. So there's always, some advantages. Uh, is it not working?
Yeah, it's broken. I don't know why. It is
Okay.
it is giving me some unexpected results. And I installed the default Bootstrap implementation, which should work,
Okay.
but it's not working as expected, and I don't know why.
Mm.
And right now it doesn't want even to start up. I don't know why. So I'm installing everything new. I hope it's maybe because we installed first this library, which was not working at all. Maybe it installed something which is not supposed to be installed.
Uh, Robson 1990 asked, read about automatic log uploads to cloud providers and it's just to add Nextcloud support. Let me check. Nextcloud support API.
Yeah, it's
Well,
also, usually there's a unified API for all these cloud providers.
usually,
Usually.
yeah. I wish. What they want? Yeah, it should be possible. Seems like the API is quite open. So I would say yes, I would need to sit and work on it. I mean, it's just a question how many people are gonna use it. Uh, because if only few, then question is it worth it? I mean, Dropbox is something that people usually have. This is why I want to work on. I mentioned it before. This is why I want to work actually on some actual, cloud user interface from people who just get the gauge.s. Then you can have our own portal and we have more control over it. Because the problem with Dropbox, for example, is uh, they don't support really embedded devices at all. What I'm doing with Dropbox is against quite kind of, well, it's not against the policy, but they are frowned upon by them because what you have to do to upload to Dropbox is use like key for developer. You have to create new app and you have used this key to actually upload the stuff to Dropbox. So, and they're gonna change it in future. So I don't know if Nextcloud is gonna change it, possibly and hopefully not. And it really looks nice. So I think I may be using Nextcloud to actually do this stuff. Although really the idea behind it is to make our own portal when people actually can, browse the files, they can register their own devices and things like this. And yeah, but as I said, no, I'm happy. Thank you for letting me know about the Nextcloud because I'm really looking to this right now, and it it really makes sense to use it. I just need to see. Uh, An existing file will be overwritten by request. Okay, that makes sense. Mm. Mhm. Oh, we have white screen. It's good.
Yeah, but it's still broken because it cannot find this Bootstrap minimal CSS. But wait a minute, let's have a look. I think I know what's the problem. It requires I need to include this file in my own
Oh,
implementation.
okay.
That's why it's not working. It was giving me some really weird some really weird error message, and I was like, okay, why?
You see, what's really interesting is that it's every development like thingy. Uh, oh, it's working.
Yeah, but still, it's still this bootstrap thing is missing. But
Okay,
wait, I will handle that.
but the setting up the like setting up the project is the hardest part
Yeah,
usually.
yeah,
Once you get it running, it's not a problem. But like setting up the basic stuff is always a problem. Different IDEs and
and we have here. I don't get it. This is such a stupid implementation. And I mean, I did it before. It's not like the first time I'm using this package, but somehow right now it just don't wanna set it up.
hmm.
It's only thing which is missing is wait a minute. Here we go. Okay, this is a quick fix, but I think it should do whatever
quick
is
fix
necessary.
quick fix always sounds like permanent fix.
Yeah, but I mean it is not that much a good fix, but it will deliver the
The results for now.
yeah, it will deliver the results and everyone is happy because now no compiling. Okay.
Oh, it's moving. That's interesting. Oh, wait, we have grid-like thingy.
Okay, so we have a grid here. Perfect.
Yes.
So we
Do you
have
know
to
why background is silver white? Oh,
I think it's because of it's because of his tabs.
okay.
Wait, we will do we will take it. Okay. We have a different implementation. Bootstrap requires a different implementation of these tabs, but this is easy to do because we can remove the old component and use the new component.
Okay.
Mm, mm, okay. And now we just remove from React tabs and include from Bootstrap tabs. And it's
Going back to Nextcloud, I'm really, well, I said I like it. Well, I kind of like it because it's easy, but then I see, unfortunately, it uses XML as output, which is terrible. I mean, Dropbox uses JSON, and everybody on the internet uses JSON. Why people going back to XMLs? I don't get it.
okay.
Yeah? Oh,
Looking better.
looking
Just
better.
need to
Yes, definitely.
okay. And the cool part is now I can just say gauges please here. First tab. Okay, here we are. Why we are so big.
Okay. That's maybe they show big data.
No, I think it's because we need some CSS as well, so they will be styled accordingly. But this is not a problem. I can do. Wait, where are the gauges? 40 Pixel. And why it's always switching to dashboard? Any idea?
No, not really. Maybe it's
Okay. Okay, now it's always here. So regarding gauges, so there's a container inside it and there's a row. And here we have a container. I think we're just missing the row. Ah, perfect.
Oh, now we're cooking.
It just was missing something. So now we need to make them a little bit in a different color palette. So let's have a look. So this is the main container, and it has a background color. But as soon as we go down, this gauges doesn't have it. But I think it's fine. We will just remove it for first and start with white ones, and then I can style it up.
Okay.
Okay, why it's broken again? Ah, okay. It just needed some time. And let's have a look at the examples again. How did they do that? So okay, we have the gauges. So what should I write for the first gauge?
I usually start with something simple like RPM, and the second is battery voltage, because battery voltage is easiest to check out on bench once we go to this stage.
Okay.
It's just something that you can get straight from ECU even if no other sensors are connected. So yeah, that's a good part, I think.
Battery. Okay. Better. So what else do we need except these two?
I would say the best would be if we had, as I said, like on the right, there should be small button on the right hand side, which would basically unfold a list with all the parameters. So you can choose which parameters to show, and then you can rearrange them there or whatever to actually, arrange them in the grid. I would think that makes sense.
Okay, like a checkbox thing where you can
Yes,
enable.
yes. So you have like parameter. That's the parameters from the ECU. On the right hand side, you have actual parameters values. So like you have a parameter, and on the right hand side, you have values straight from ECU. So you can see, like, you can view them over there, and then you can checkbox which one you actually want to see on the dashboard.
Okay, got your point. Easy. This we can do. 60 to 9, right? Container. container. Now move this here, and
And of course, it would be nice if each gauge has like size, be resizable. It could save its own size, so it will be on each reload of the page. You will remember what was the size and things like this.
okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay, here 3 and here we will have 9. Just normal. Okay, so here are the checkboxes. So I don't know. We will write here.
Well, just RPMs and battery voltage and things like this. So user can select more and more of the gauges. I broke again.
Now this is normal. Checkbox. I need to check for checkbox code. Here forms, form control. Only where's checkboxes? Form.check. Okay. Okay, so from type it needs to be a checkbox. Needs to be I don't know, RPM. Form is not defined. Why it's not defined? What's now? Form is not defined. No, form is defined. Wait. Ah, okay. So, do we have something or not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
so here's the form box, but unfortunately the checkboxes are overlapping somehow. I don't know why they are so big. They should not be. But wait, I can limit them. Still. Okay. Now come on. Ah, okay. So now we have small gauges and an RPM where we can adjust it.
okay.
Alright, so we have RPM. What do we need else as a checkbox?
Oh, well, on the right on the checkbox, I would put the value that actually is, pulled from ECU, I would say. Um, I'll also make some ways that the size of the gauges are configurable. Um, and of course that the checkboxes can be toggled and hidden, so the gauges go back to full size of the screen.
Yes, wait. I had a code here which will do exactly that. Some mapping code.
Yeah.
But basically some mapping code, and when we will do whatever we need to. So tell me some other checkbox. How's it called? Tell me some more
Oh, parameters. So
parameters.
like engine load, uh, ignition, advance, fuel injector time.
Okay, wait a minute. RPM, second one.
And engine load,
Okay.
uh, fuel injector intake, sorry, fuel injector, time, ignition advance.
Okay.
Out. Yeah, I think for now that should be fine. Or you want some more?
No, this is fine. So RPM. No, just coding everything together. So we just need here some mapping which will do exactly that. So it will just put everything together. And it's parameters here. So now it should. What does it say? Parameters map is not a function. Okay. Yes, because it's not an array. Okay. Perfect. So the only thing which we need to do now is just put it here and say instead of label we make come on, do it. Okay, font objects. What objects are not valid as React child? What exactly? What is his problem?
Like always the question.
Font object with type keys. No, actually. Wait, how they were doing it in the example? No, this looks good. So what's the problem? Object with key type. Okay. Okay, I got your point. Okay, so this is working, so the only thing which is not working, it cannot display the name of the object.
Okay.
But actually this should be done. usually working? Ah, wait a minute. It's mapping the object, it's not mapping the... Okay, got his point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically an object and it doesn't like it. Okay. Ah, why it doesn't like it? Come on. This is not that hard. Okay, now. Oh, come on. That was hard. Okay, now. So now we have the checkboxes for all the things. Time, injection and whatever. So
Yeah.
the only thing which you need to do is to give them some state. So as soon as you click on them, they will also display them here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the next thing which I will do.
And also so you can rearrange them and, well, I guess it will be.
Yeah, I guess whoever clicks first, then it will be there. Or should we do some state management here?
I think it should be drag and drop, to be honest, because like
Drag and
how
drop.
else? How else would it be though? I mean, the first one you click, but then if you have to move it to the end, you have to re-click every single one.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I know. We will just make them appear on the clicks, and then you can rearrange them if you want.
yeah, yes. And then if you close this window, they will be locked. So even if you touch, you won't be able to move them,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
this is not a problem. So basically, we need to first um, make some gauges, but I think I can reuse this code which I wrote already, and make a lot of them. Something like this. So now we have 4 gauges, as far as I see. And now we need to okay. And now we just need to give them something like okay. So it's only just here. So 50. Okay, looking better. Front-end styling, okay.
Oh, wow.
So now,
It does make a difference.
yeah, sure. So okay, but now we have the gauges, so we need to just enable and disable them. So we need to define some state management. So as soon as you click on that, it will appear or disappear. How do we do that? Basically, we need a state machine here. It's a functional component, right? Okay. I need to look it up how I usually do something like that. Wouldn't be the first time. Okay, do we have some questions?
Not really. Only Robson said it's open source and self-hosted because a lot of people use it regarding to the next cloud, which I said, yeah. I don't know person who uses it, but I mean, I like the idea. I like the fact that it's open source and self-hosted. So I'm really happy to, work on this. Uh, yeah, I'm really happy to work on this because that's goes with the spirit of the of of this. So
Yeah. Actually, maybe let's finish up for today because it's been 2 hours and we started with 1 hour. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we wait for 5 minutes or 2 minutes. And if anyone have any questions, just ask and we will answer them. And there are only 4 viewers left as far as I see.
Okay.
And maybe as soon as we are done, we can talk a little bit. And I will try to do. In the meantime, I will try to code something and to do state management for the checkboxes. But this is usually not a big deal. I can copy
Mm.
it over from some other project.
I mean, the the part of actual coding was very short because it was like error handling of, setting up the all the frameworks and stuff, which usually takes most of the time. But I'm very impressed, like within few minutes you are able to do something that works on the React. I really like it.
Yeah, React is really powerful. It's like in comparison to other things, it's really, really, really powerful. And you don't need so much time for um, doing something which is usually taking a lot of time. So doing something like in jQuery, it's usually a mess, and you can't even imagine what I have seen in jQuery written for doing something similar to that in jQuery.
Okay.
Because in jQuery you start, the good part in jQuery is you can render so much things so fast. But as soon as it starts getting complicated, you are like, okay, what should I do now? I have no idea. Please help me. Okay, so basically we move these to state checkboxes.
I mean, there are providers where you can rent your own Nextcloud instance, but it's definitely the open alternative to the commercial cloud services. Yeah, I agree. I'm really happy to work with it. I still don't know why they use XMLs instead of JSON, which I cannot really easily pass on the embedded device. But yeah, I'm very happy, and I will definitely try to do that. Looking good, gentlemen. If you need any tests, please let me know. I'm happy to help however I can. E46, M40. You have MS45.1, which means you have very late one, E46, which is nice. Although I don't think we have some definitions about the logging for MS45. Not much. But our friend BA114 from Australia actually did quite a fair bit about the definitions. But we have one problem with it. We cannot seem to make it work in a car. I mean, it's in E61, I think, 5 to 5i, and once it on the bench, it works. But once you connect it in the car, it doesn't. So we wonder what's up with that, but there is probably some setup command that needs to be sent. So we just need to, go and check it. Yes, object. That's
Yeah,
nice.
this is normal. I mean, I'm refactoring to objects right now. That's why this is completely normal.
Yeah.
So now I need some on-click management. Not function. Here, set active with parameters, and I need some set state. Hmm. Let checkbox v point this point state point checkboxes, and now we are just adding up something checkboxes.
What IDE you use for React?
I use PHP Storm, but you can usually use any IDE which you like. It doesn't matter so much because basically you need a text editor, not more. Everything which is related to compiling and stuff is done via on the console line. So the console line will do
Yes,
auto
yes, yes,
compiling,
yes.
and I actually, in comparison to microcontrollers, you don't need to create to run some special command to recompile it. You just write the code, it will automatically detect the change and will recompile everything again.
Yes, I am just wondering about the IntelliJ stuff. So like, like you click on the function, can you see its implementation? Can you?
Yes, you can see, but you need to forget all the nice things about which you usually have in object-oriented languages. React is a little bit more messy, so even if you see the
Okay.
implementation, it's basically usually, if you are not using some development version, it is some really minified code, so you cannot read anything there.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Okay, push param. Okay. So what does it say? Unexpected token. Oh, what's the problem? Okay. Okay, now it should somehow work. Mm, okay, this is looking good. And now I need here. Wait. This state.active checkboxes. Okay.
Nice.
Cannot read property push of
Push.
undefined.
Okay.
Wait, why? Okay. Active checkboxes. Okay, it's an array, and we're pushing some parameter. Yes. We're pushing some parameter, and that's it. Yoo-hoo!
Wow. Nice.
Okay, it is just pushing it. It's not trigger. It's not.
She's not taking them out. Okay.
No, it's not picking them up, but it's basically working. Yeah. So yes, we did the gauges part somehow for today.
Yeah, that's quite good progress to be honest, and
Yeah.
that's most of the stuff that I wanted. The rest is, the polishing. The polishing part is usually the most unfun one, but yeah.
Yeah, and
Um,
I mean, the cool part is you know how much lines of code I've wrote. It's 100 lines of code to do that.
you can show the code. To be honest, can you show the code? Because I think the code for me and for some viewers probably will be the most interesting part in that.
Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, yeah, sure. This is not a big deal to show it. Wait, I just need to share. But you need to know React to understand what's going on there because it's a little bit. You need to learn it for sure, but
Yeah.
in comparison to other languages, it's really easy to learn, and there's not so much things which are going on. There's here live streaming Schreibtisch terminal. I don't see my PHP storm here. Ah, now perfect. So okay, now you see my messy code. So
Wait a second. Do I?
do
It's
you
on
see it?
YouTube only.
Huh? Yeah. Okay, sorry. It's for
Yeah,
YouTube
because
only.
it's not. Yeah, it's not shared on the Discord. So I will see it eventually, but
Yeah. Wait. We will do it. Dev tools. Yeah. This one.
yeah, okay,
Now you see it.
that's nice.
Okay. So okay. Basically, not much lines changed between the normal one and the not no between the how's it called? The basic implementation of Hello World and the thing which I did.
Okay,
So it's only free file changes which I did. First of all is with app.gs, which is basically the main file, which is basically HTML. As you see, it's only
okay,
some HTML which I wrote. The only difference, like what makes React different to other languages is you write some HTML, but it means that it is not HTML. It is basically class calling.
okay.
It seems like
Got it.
unusual, but you will get used to it. So that's why if you are writing here like header class name, it will translate to class in the front
Okay,
end. That's why you need to write class name because here you can put some variables. So now it can understand that you are changing something. But you can also
okay.
write normal things like ID 123, and it will put it in the front end as well. So basically, in this part, nothing major happens. It's just some styling which I load from for Bootstrap, and yeah, some really basic stuff.
Hmm.
So the more funny part is this tab thing, where I just also define some tabs, and they will magically getting rendered. So I just say, okay, we have some tabs. We have some home tab, profile tab, contact tab, and everything which is inside these tabs will be rendered. And with gauges means like take the output of gauge.s and render it here.
Okay.
So basically, you can imagine that you can define some custom HTML tags, which are basically some classes which you define.
Yes. Yes. I understand the reason behind it. Yeah,
So
that's
you basically
that's
write it down
interesting.
and everything getting rendered. And
So then you basically treat them like Legos. So you basically
yeah,
just move stuff around. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
yeah,
So it is kind of object-oriented programming.
yeah, kinda. You will see right. I will show the gauges part because this is the biggest programming part right now. But basically here I'm taking some React Bootstrap things, which are pre-styled and pre-done. So basically, I don't need to do them myself. And if you see on the how's it called on the source code of them, yes, you can click on them, and yes, you can see the source code, but basically you cannot do anything with it because it is
Okay.
some interfaces and some really,
Yes,
really,
it's not full code. It's just like,
yeah,
let's say, header file for like a C++.
yeah,
Uh,
like kinda header file. But
yeah,
basically,
yeah.
there is an implementation regarding that. You can look it up if you want, but you usually don't do that.
No, no, no. It's
Yeah,
just interesting to see.
yeah.
I
And this is the gauges class. Or do you have any question?
no, I just wonder, is there like, can you click to actually see what each function in the implementation does? For the functions like tabs and stuff like this. How you should how I am about to use it.
Yeah, you basically what I'm doing in the background all the time. I'm just googling up how to use them.
Oh, so that's I thought there is something in the IDE that does that.
No, no, no. It is
No.
really dependent on the who implemented that and how much
Yeah.
documentation he provided. You can look up the implementation itself, but it's usually not useful.
Okay. Oh, I like that you don't check boxes in JSON.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And yeah, so basically the interesting part starts here, which is looking familiar because it is like it writes like extends component, but basically it does not extend the component. It's just a class definition that it is like in React there is no extending classes.
Okay.
You can
Makes
do
sense.
it, but they are saying it is kind of prohibited and you are not supposed to do that. You can do it if you are doing some core components. You usually
Okay.
you're usually combining stuff. So basically,
All right.
you have some components and you combine them together until you get whatever you want.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So in this case, it's just saying this is a functional component. No, this is a class component. There are also
Hmm.
some functional components. For example, where this is a functional component. Functional component just a function. It runs something, returns something. That's it.
Okay.
And this is a
Hmm.
functional component. So wait, where do we have it? Here, this is a functional component. So this means that it has a render function which will render something, and it has
Hmm.
some basic data processing things like a constructor where you can define stuff, and also some global variables which are accessible inside the class. So for example, this checkboxes is available everywhere.
Oh, that is interesting. That's very nice.
Yeah, so basically it looks really familiar, but you are getting used to it after some time.
Yeah, 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 exactly. And then you can do much more stuff with it
Yeah.
once it's done. Yeah.
One interesting, very different concept of how's it called of React is with state management.
Hmm.
This is new. This you won't see that usually in normal classes, like in normal languages. This state means that this variable might change over time. These variables
Okay.
are usually kind of fixed. So this means that you have something like this, which is saying this set state, and this changes the state.
Okay.
So basically,
Hmm.
everything else is fixed, so it will run only once, and that's it. And when you have some kind of callbacks where you can say, okay, here this looks familiar. This is basically a for each. Sorry, let's start from the beginning. So here some concept definitions, nothing major. Here I'm just saying, okay, I have a state and we have some active checkboxes inside of it. This is a helper function which will be called as soon as I click on one of the checkboxes,
Hmm.
and it will just read the actual state, add up the thing which you have clicked on, and
Okay.
reset the state to some new values.
Okay.
So in this case, it's just saying set state checkboxes, whatever.
Hmm. That is interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
and
definitely different a little, but But yeah, I can get my head around it. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
that bad.
basically you need to kind of realize that this is the way how we want to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and there are not so much concepts around it. So you usually stick to it, and you need to rethink how you do things usually.
Yes.
Like usually you have some code it runs and you are done, right? Here
Yeah.
you have state management, so you need to think always what's the current state. The cool part is, okay, here I might be not able to show it. No, here I'm not able to show it, but for Firefox you have some plugin which can show you the state of an actual component and also the props of a component.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, and basically what I have done is basically two for eaches here, one for each which show the active checkboxes, second for each which shows the normal checkboxes. And as soon as you click on one checkbox, it will call this function with the element of the checkbox, and this will add it up into the state. And when the state, as soon as you put something into the state, React will recognize that the state has changed and will start re-rendering everything.
Okay.
So it seems really, really complicated at first, but if you see it, it is not that much complicated.
Yeah. You need to like stand back from it a little bit and see that it's just the blocks that does different things depending on the state and what is happening. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is interesting.
yeah. So you basically put it to the state and show the gauges, and that's it.
Yeah. Hmm.
So not so much code actually. The
Not so
biggest,
much. And then we can change the styles of the gauges to different ones with the states, actually.
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
You
so
just say I don't know. I don't know.
so basically we only care about the container, its size, and we can resize the container and move it around our grid. And then if user wants to change, we can put whatever inside the single cell of the grid,
Yes.
more or less.
Yes,
Nice. Nice.
you can. Actually, it's not that hard, and you usually use some helper functions which will allow you to do some drag and drop functions. For example,
Okay.
if you need to, okay, I need to switch back to the browser, but basically, if you need some drag and drop functionality, you will not implement it yourself. You just search for a library which will help you do that.
Yeah, of course, because that's that's JavaScript, so
Yeah,
you
you
just do it
usually try
yourself.
not to do everything yourself. You're doing only the
Yeah,
bare minimum yourself, but everything
and
else is.
then you use someone else work. Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense at all.
So in this case, like the tabs I just copied it over, and the gauges I copied it over, and the only thing which I changed is this this custom logic which we needed, because
Okay.
I don't know the search term for that, but I suppose if you search for something, I don't know, tables React or something, you will find something which will be more advanced than the thing which I done,
Okay.
and which can do whatever you want in a way where you can just adapt it and you are done.
Okay. Thank you very much for this lesson on
Hmm.
JavaScript. And yeah, and in general, it was quite nice experience. I don't know if our viewers uh, enjoyed it, at least those who lasted till the end. Well, thank you very much for being with us. And yeah, I hope we got some ideas about what to do,
Mm.
what people expect, and we got basic scratch, let's say, draft of
Hmm.
what we want to do. So yeah,
Yeah,
thank you once more.
yeah. I will say, yeah, we have only one viewer left. I'm not sure if it's me or you. Maybe it,
Okay.
but we still have one left. No, right now we have four left. Okay, doesn't matter.
It's-
But basically, we have some viewers left, and I will say we will say thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. And yeah, maybe some last words from your side, Sorek.
Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for great ideas and questions and support. yeah, see you next time because the journey uh, doesn't end here.
Yeah. Okay, so bye bye everyone.
Bye.